Hello again, today I'd like to show you a DIY build-it-yourself clone pedal, which is a copy of a Univox Super Fuzz which first appeared in the 1960s. It's a very extreme sounding fuzz, uses silicon transistors and has some nice ring modulation sounds and octave effects and things like that. And I've added in a few little features of my own, so I'll talk you through it and let you hear what it sounds like. Hope you like it. So this is how it looks then, the Super Fuzz clone. And just before I explain it, I'll show you a photograph of what the original Super Fuzz looked like. So that's how the old one looked. This one, as you can see, is very different, but it is the same circuit, and it has across the top a balance control for volume and an expander for the amount of fuzz, just like the original. Down here is a tone foot switch. The old one just had a little sliding switch across the side. I've decided to put that in the foot switch form and put an LED so you can tell which tone is selected. The first is like a scooped mid, sort of fat fuzz, and the second tone setting is like an upper mid boost, which is quite a boxy sound. But the good settings, I mean, this is, don't get me wrong, this is not like a subtle overdrive, it's a very, very extreme fuzz box, and you've got either tone 1 or 2 and nothing in between. I've added up here a clip switch to select between either germanium diodes or silicon. The original had a back-to-back pair of germanium diodes. This one, you can, with the switch, you can choose either the germanium or the modern silicon diodes, which have a slightly louder and harder edge sound in the clipping stage. You have to use the balance control to compensate for the difference in volume when you flip the switch. And down here finally is an interesting thing called a starve control, which reduces the amount of voltage from the battery that goes to the circuit, and it simulates the sound of a dying battery. If you ever had an old fuzz box and you were getting some unusual sounds, it usually meant it was time to change the battery, but here you can simulate that, back it down. It only works in the last quarter travel of the pot. We can back it down to about 6 volts before you end up with total silence. And just before that stage you get some really good, if you experiment with the expander and stuff, you get some nice ring mod type sounds or sitar, kind of unusual tones. And that's about it really, other than the fact that I've added a 9-volt socket down there. And I've used some modern silicon transistors. The original had silicons, I don't know what type, but I've used the 2N3904 transistors, which are an NPN, and very, very, very easy to get a hold of, very cheap, and the sound just great. They sound like the old ones. So I'm going to now demonstrate it. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a comment if you like it. The Super Fuzz.